So DC shook things up a bit when they revealed that there are in fact 3 Jokers. What's scarier than 3 Jokers running around is the fact that Batman, world's greatest detective, can't seem to figure out how this is possible. And this idea of 3 Jokers has created an explosion of theories on who these 3 Jokers may be. A released image from DC shows different looking Jokers that may represent Golden Age Joker, the career criminal, Silver Age Joker, who is more into pranks than killing, and Bronze or Modern Age Joker, who is all about being a psychotic, scheming genius. And that seems to fit right in with what the chair told Batman. There are 3 Jokers. Combine that with the Watchmen universe now officially being a part of the DC universe, and Dr. Manhattan, who may or may not be messing with universes and screwing with timelines, and this all got very exciting. So this video, I want to talk about 3 Joker theories I have, that most likely a million other people have as well, about who the 3 Jokers may be. So the Mobius chair reveals to Batman that there are 3 Jokers, and that would make sense. There being multiple Jokers would explain how the Joker is able to break out of Arkham so easily, go through with insane, complicated plots, and cheat death in the past, because there's more than one of him. There's also recently where the Joker has been spotted in different locations at the same time, seeming to further add weight to there being 3 separate Jokers. However, the problem with this theory is, why is Batman just now figuring out there are 3 Jokers? Wouldn't he have noticed them being different by now? It seems awfully convenient that he's just now seen multiple Jokers at once. Well, theory number 1 might have an answer to that, and who the 3 Jokers are. The first theory is that there's actually 3 Jokers from 3 different universes. Time has been manipulated, paradoxes have been created, and the crossover of this has affected different timelines and universes, with most likely Dr. Manhattan manipulating these universes and timelines and the problems that has caused. It very well could be that 3 different Jokers from 3 different universes have now converged into one universe. This could explain the 3 versions we see. If this is happening along with other timey-wimey stuff that seems to be happening, that could explain why Batman is only now realizing that there's 3 Jokers and is just not an idiot who didn't notice this before. Or maybe Dr. Manhattan just recently put other Jokers in this universe as a way to keep Batman from figuring out his plan or what he's doing. Or maybe just mess with people. Who knows? The problem with this theory is we don't know if Batman has encountered all these Jokers in this timeline, and if he did, why he didn't notice how different they were. It's hard to say if Batman has encountered these different versions in his current timeline in the past, or if they just appeared now with the certain manipulations that have been going on. So we really need more information on Batman's encounter with the Jokers, because if they reveal Batman in this timeline has encountered 3 radically different looking and behaving Jokers in the past, in a short amount of time too, and just now realize there's multiples, they just made him out to be a huge idiot. The next theory is that there was actually 1 Joker in the beginning, and then he began to take on apprentices. Batman has his Robin, so why not the Joker take on his own version of that? What if Harley Quinn was essentially Joker's Batgirl? The Joker imitating the Bat family in his own deliciously evil way sounds like something psychotic that he would definitely do. And if I had a secret wish list of the original Joker, I'd love it to be either Golden Age Joker, or, which could actually be the same thing, Alfred Stryker, who was the man Batman punched into a vat of acid in Detective Comics issue number 27 in 1939, Batman's very first appearance in the comics. What is even better is that after he falls in, Batman says, "A fitting ending for his kind." Come on. If some guy punched you into a vat of acid and then gloated about it while you suffered and left you to die, you'd be a little hellbent on messing with the guy too. So what if this original Joker knew he needed others to mess with the Bat and train people to follow him? Again, his version of Robin's. But who are these apprentices? Maybe people the Joker just picked. They don't have to be anyone important. There's also another theory that ties into this, which honestly isn't my favorite, and I think it's been talked to death on the interwebs, is that the comedian Eddie Blake is the original Joker, and it kind of makes sense with his psychopathic nature, his scars, his terrible childhood, his costume, and just his general outlook on the world. Perhaps that is why Batman discovered the Watchmen button, a hint that the comedian wasn't dead like he was the last time we saw him. But what does death mean in the world of comics? If he even died, and there's a theory out there that he actually faked his death to then operate as the Joker. So maybe Eddie is the original Joker and then trained his apprentices to carry on the hilarious joke that is humanity. If you don't want to go with the him training other Jokers route, maybe they just mimicked him and he let it go, thinking it was hilarious and all fun and games. Though, to be honest, the comedian not being dead kinda takes away from the Watchmen universe and how it was portrayed. At least for me. And even if there aren't apprentices, who's to say crazy criminals that want to take a shot at Batman couldn't assume the role of the Joker to try to get at him? This would certainly explain how different some of the Jokers have appeared to be. But there's a lot of questions with this theory, which I've stated before. Why didn't Batman notice the different Jokers before? Whether they were all connected, apprentices, worked for a main Joker, or separate. Why did Batman never suspect that there was more than one until the chair told him so? How are they all working together if the apprentice thing is true? How do they coordinate their activities? The Joker isn't exactly a team player, or has never really appeared to be. So now let's jump to my last theory, which is honestly my least favorite because it requires a lot of what-ifs, stretches, and, I don't know, a lot of philosophy and psychology taken into account, and I feel like comics don't always do that. So just indulge me with this one. So the Mobius chair reveals to Batman that there are 3 Jokers, and Batman recently saw more than one Joker, seeming to further add weight to there being 3 separate Jokers. However, who's to say this isn't to throw us off? The extra Joker scene could be someone the Joker put up to dressing like him to mess with Batman, or a decoy for something. This wouldn't be the first time the Joker has had people dress up like him. Maybe some manipulating to play their part had a role in it too. Or some poor crazy bastard that decided to dress up as the Joker to get at Batman, or because he was just insane. Copycats are a real thing. I also don't think Batman is wholly convinced that there are 3 separate people as the Joker. Seems a bit convenient if these Jokers all decided to operate one at a time and then suddenly started appearing at the same time. Which again could be excused by the timelines recently getting a bit more messed up. But let's put aside the exciting multiple universes for 1 second and consider what if there's actually only one physical Joker with 3 Jokers inside him. I know, not as exciting as multiple universes, just give me a few minutes. I have been enamored with Grant Morrison's take on the Joker for a while now, and it's a little too good to ignore. The Joker essentially remakes himself all the time and gives himself different origins and names. The chair saying there are 3 Jokers could be simply the most consistent of his personalities or persons that he's made up of. If the Joker has super sanity, he sees how insane the world is and therefore acts as insane as the world is around him. The Joker is always creating identities for himself to fit in with this crazy, crazy world. And if he has a dissociative identity disorder, a severe condition in which 2 or more distinct identities or personal states are present in, and alternatively take control of an individual, this could explain the different personalities as well. The person also experiences memory loss that is too extensive to be explained by ordinary forgetfulness, which could also explain the different Joker origins or names. If he had this identity disorder, he would have distinct and split identities or personalities. Identities as real to him as yours is to you. And these personalities in either case could have shifted over time and as he needed them. The 3 distinct Jokers we've seen. The chair said there were 3 Jokers, and if he has these clearly different invented personalities or origins that his brain uses to cope with his sensory overload, or because of his disorder, there would be. So then, if there's one Joker with 3 distinct personalities created from his neurological disorder, why wouldn't the chair just say his name? Why say that there's 3 Jokers if there's physically one? The chair's smarter than that, right? Well, maybe it's because Batman asked for his true name and not his birth name. And this is where psychology and philosophy get a bit involved in here, and I know that that can be boring for a lot of people, so I'll try to keep it as brief as I can. So why would the chair say that there are 3 true names? Well, the idea of a name or true name is fluid in the first place. If I was born Sue but I changed my name later in life to Anne, would the chair say I'm Sue or Anne? Which is my true name? If I wholeheartedly believe my name is Anne, my true name, who is to tell me I'm wrong? Well, maybe the government. And who says your birth name is your identity or your true name? Who says you can't make your own identity? And why is a name given to you at birth by someone that didn't truly know you have to be your name or something you're stuck with? Plenty of people change their name or take a different family name because of its meaning to them. If he has this neurological disorder or vastly different view on life, why would he consider a birth name real or meaningful to him or even his true name. If the world is insane, who gives a shit about a birth name? Why does that produce meaning to him if the world is just some insane stage, as the Joker seems to believe? So if he really creates these identities, all with different names and backstories, this could explain the chair saying there were 3 Jokers. Which Joker name do you want? Which origin story the Joker created and believes to his very core that are as true to him as your name is to you, do you want? And if he believes each of these people and origin stories are real, who's to say they aren't? There is a very real belief that we create our own realities. Defining one's identity is a reoccurrent lifelong challenge. While you and I have one name or personality, he just happens to have 3 names and 3 origins that he believes as truth. So I'll end this last theory with this. The Joker believes that he doesn't have one answer to his past, but that it's multiple choice. And maybe he's right. And I will end by asking you 2 questions. If someone is a violent person that attacks people, but then over time he becomes different and nonviolent, even a pacifist, would the chair say yes or no when asked if he is a violent man? Even now if he's a pacifist through and through when asked. So if the Joker does wholly become these different people with different origin stories and names, who would the chair say he is? Would it say who he is now? Or all the people that are inside him that he believes he is? Well, wait, follow-up questions. Why wouldn't Batman ask more questions? Like, hey, what are their true names and how are they related? Is the answer to sell more comic books? So thank you for indulging me and my 3 Joker theories. Feel free to rip them and me to shreds. I'm used to it. It's okay. So make sure you like this video, subscribe, and come back for more comic videos, Star Wars videos, Game of Thrones videos, and anything sci-fi, fantasy, or horror related. You can't phrase it like that because people will freak out on you.